You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
All right, good morning, my friends. Here we go. We've been talking about these clusters of showers and thunderstorms that are going to roll their way on through. So I want to start you off with the radar here this morning. We're on the Jackson, Kentucky radar right now, and you can see the complex of showers and thunderstorms that are rolling their way from northwest to southeast. And that's really going to be the story. We already have our first severe thunderstorm warning for the day today. This does include Claiborne County and Hancock County, and this runs until 7:45 this morning. So we are continuing to track in the possibility of some damaging wind gusts, winds gusting to greater than 60 miles per hour. Just look at the hail product. The freezing level is way too high, so hail's not going to be an issue. But listen, I can't stress enough that so many of you on social media yesterday said, hey, what about the tornadoes? You mentioned a tornado threat. Listen, I don't want you to concentrate on tornadoes with this round of storms. Well, do we have a chance for a spin up or two? Sure, we do. Because we have the dynamics in the atmosphere. But this is not a tornado-producing kind of storm. This is a more wind damage type of storms, and we get way more wind damage here in East Tennessee than we do anything else or really any tornadoes. The other side of the story is this is going to be producing efficient downpours. So when you look at your rainfall rates with this system already, we're already picking up 7 inches per hour. Now, of course, these storms aren't going to sit over you for an hour, but that lets us know that these are efficient rain producers. And so while we've seen quite a bit of rainfall around the area, when you look at rainfall in these locations over the last 24 hours, we've picked up 3/4 to even pockets of upwards of 2 inches up just north of Bean Station, outside of Rogersville and Thornhill, 1.9 inches of rainfall there. So that's the story. We've got a saturated ground. That's what we've seen over the last 24 hours. That has nothing to do with what's heading our way for the day today. So once again, I'll loop this over the last 1 hour. You can see the progression of the storm system as it's moving its way to the south and southeast. And with this northwesterly flow, we get these disturbances that roll their way on through. So heads up Rutledge and Rogersville. Let's go ahead and track that for you as these storms are moving to the southeast at about 31 miles per hour. So as we track it and go about 31 miles per hour to the south and southeast, you'll see and I get an idea of who's in the path of this storm. And we've got places like Woodway and Kinser Mill and Gibson Hall and Yellow Springs and Blackwater. Of course, some of these are neighborhoods. Some of them, we've got New Hope and Cuba and Rogersville, Burgoynesville, Big Springs, Canton, Sneedville, of course. And so then Bean Station, Whitesburg, Mohawk, Baileyton, Fall Branch, Greenville, Telford, and Johnson City, the Tri-Cities area, will be next in line. But we have to watch what's going on back behind this system as well. So up towards Jellicoe and Clarefield, Harrogate. We've also got Powell Valley and Tazewell, all in the path. Now, no severe necessarily thunderstorm warning for you folks in Jellicoe, Habersham, Speedwell, but these storms will continue to track your way. So Sharps Chapel, Big Barron, Rutledge, and Bean Station, again, all next in line. So we're going to continue to track this. We'll go back to the radar coming up here in just a few minutes, but I want to show you the big picture story as we get this day going. So we had a ridge of high pressure in the mid levels of the atmosphere across parts of Texas. That puts us on the eastern side of high pressure. And when we get this kind of a pattern set up, it produces strong to severe thunderstorms or clusters of thunderstorms. It produces disturbances that wrap around the edges of that ridge of high pressure. Now, I will say that high pressure ridge is going to start to work its way into East Tennessee and the southeastern U.S. as we get into our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're talking heat. So we're talking strong to severe thunderstorms, localized flooding and flash flooding issues, an isolated tornado. I don't want to say that, but it is a possibility. And then a lot of heat to round out the week and head into the upcoming weekend before a few more showers and thunderstorms head our way. So when you look at these disturbances, look at the yellows and the oranges and the reds, you can just kind of get an idea of the flow around that ridge of high pressure, and that's what's going to bring us the showers and thunderstorms. So the Weather Prediction Center has us under a level 2 risk for localized flooding and flash flooding concerns. That's running through the day today, and that pretty much encompasses all of East Tennessee. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch. This runs until 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, so almost 24 hours from right now. And they talked about in their forecast discussion that they may have to extend this a little bit further, a little bit longer, depending on how these storms play out. If you were with me yesterday, these are really tough to predict, to find the timing. A lot of times they speed up. Yesterday's models had it at around 7 o'clock in the morning, which is where we are. Then it pushed it back to just after midnight, and then it pushed it back to 7 o'clock in the morning. So the point is we have an active weather pattern that's going to be with us, and that's going to bring us these clusters and rounds of showers and thunderstorms. And if you get rounds and rounds and rounds over and over and over again, that's where the flood and flash flood risk really starts to increase. So something to kind of keep in mind here over the next 24 to about 36 hours. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, the ones who issue the severe weather risk across the entire country, has put us now, most of East Tennessee, under a level 2 risk for severe weather. So that's an elevated risk from what we were talking about yesterday. When you break it down, your storm threats for just the day today, we're going to put extreme. I put the flooding and flash flooding into the extreme category for the reason being that we've already seen 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in some parts of East Tennessee and even more than that in other locations. Now we're talking about an additional inch to 2 inches in isolated locations or more throughout the day today. And so that's going to be with very efficient rain producers producing the possibility of some localized flooding and flash flooding. Hail's not going to be an issue, really. Freezing levels way too high. Now, of course, I do have the tornado threat on the low side. It is possible, not necessarily likely. This is not that kind of a storm system, but right on the leading edge of this, you can get little eddies like a river, which would create little spin-ups, and so we need to watch the threat for that as these clusters come on through. But in the medium to possibly medium-high category is going to be the damaging wind threat. That's going to be the biggest concern. That and flooding with the torrential downpours is going to be the main threat. So like I said, don't concentrate on any tornadic possibilities. Really, to be honest with you, over a 75-year period, tornadoes are fairly rare around East Tennessee. Now, of course, we've seen that in places in Tennessee or in East Tennessee are going, wait a second, we've had several tornadoes. Well, yes, we have. But the general idea, we get a lot more storm damage, wind damage, than we ever do with tornadoes. And remember, this is what we saw just the other day, talking about efficient rain-producing storms. This was in Dollywood. They're still cleaning up. The park opened yesterday, but again, they're still doing a lot of cleanup work at Dollywood. And this was not even this was just a very heavy rain, efficient rain-producing storm that produced this kind of activity. And so that's what we need to watch out for the day today. So let's go and time everything out for you here this morning. By the way, if you're new to Wake Up with Witcher, we do broadcast Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning every week. We do take the weekends off, but thanks for joining me here this morning. All right, so running you through the Futurecast, again, has a general idea that these showers and thunderstorms will be ongoing from now off and on through about the lunch hour. We're going to continue that trend as we get into the afternoon. See how these disturbances will just produce rounds and rounds of showers and thunderstorms. And again, heavy rain, localized flooding and flash flooding, and damaging wind gusts are going to be the main threat. Now, temperature-wise, well, let's talk about rainfall totals. I think we'll see less rainfall across the Southern Valley, where we desperately need the rain. That's where the severe drought continues to be ongoing. And of course, on Thursday, we'll get another update from the U.S. Drought Monitor to see actually how this is all playing out with the abundance of rainfall that we've seen over the last week to 10 days. So track the rain throughout the day today. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, it's a great tool. Ask anybody on the platform this morning about it. The interactive radar is going to be amazing. It gives you current, past, and 2-hour futurecast. 2 hours of a futurecast as well. So it gives you an idea of how these storms are progressing, which direction they're going, how long are you going to have to hang out inside if the storms are approaching. You also get lightning data when lightning is within 15 miles of your location. You'll get notifications of any watches or warnings. Some of you joining us from Hawkins, Hancock County, Claiborne County probably already got that warning this morning. And of course, your daily forecast weather updates as the weather changes every single day. You'll be able to get those daily forecast weather updates right there at the top of the app. So just go to your app store and search East TN Weather, all one word, and just look for the orange TN and the white lightning bolt. It's one of the first ones that pops up if you type in East TN Weather, all one word. All right, temperature-wise, let's talk temps for a second. Now, some of these morning showers and thunderstorms may try to inhibit some of the daytime heating throughout the day today. So upper East Tennessee may trend a little bit on the cooler side, but the general idea is there that we're still looking at more of a seasonable day, more average. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 in the Southern Valley, probably hotter in the Southern Valley. And that's, look at these dew points. Forecast dew points this afternoon, we're talking mid to upper 70s. If you've ever been to the Gulf of Mexico, if you've ever been to a tropical location, this is the kind of dew points that we typically deal with down in the Gulf of Mexico. And so that is going to lead to heat index values in the upper 90s to low 100s. But as I mentioned, the heat just doesn't stop there. So if you have evening plans, heading home from work by 6 o'clock tonight, we'll still be around 85 degrees. Still going to be tracking in a few scattered showers and storms, but it's going to feel like 95. We drop down into the low 80s, but feeling like 89 by 8 o'clock tonight. And by 10, we'll finally get into the 70s, at which point we get rid of those heat index values. Overnight tonight, we'll see a little bit quieter weather until probably closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. Another disturbance is on the way. I don't think this is going to be as robust as the one that's going to be taking place here this morning or through the day today, but still another disturbance to pop off more showers and thunderstorms. And that's why the National Weather Service was like, we may have to extend the flood watch based on the latest model guidance taking us into the future. So you take today and tomorrow, and again, don't concentrate on these numbers. That doesn't necessarily mean that Maynardville is going to get 0.05 of an inch of rain, okay? Just so you know. Just got to get a general idea that we're still talking about 0.5 inch, 1 inch, upwards of 2 inches of rainfall or more if you get repeated rainfall over the same location. Now, as we get into our Wednesday, we still have a level 1 risk for some flash flooding concerns. And we also have a level 1 risk for some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms by the Storm Prediction Center. So 2 days in a row of some very active weather moving its way on through. And another reason why you got to have the East Tennessee Weather app to keep you posted on that. So again, we're going to keep the flood category in the high category for Wednesday, medium category for damaging wind gusts, low category for tornadoes, probably not likely, and hail's not going to be likely as well. Once again, the freezing level's too high, so you get full melting of the hailstones that do develop. Now, we will get hailstones to develop, but they melt before they actually reach the surface. So picking up our timeline on Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, here goes that cluster of showers and thunderstorms. Running you through the day on Wednesday, more rounds of some showers and thunderstorms are going to be heading our way. I don't think it's going to be as widespread as this all kind of lifts a little bit further to the north, but as we get into the afternoon, you heat up the atmosphere, here come those showers and thunderstorms that are going to fire back up, which once again leads to the possibility of some localized flooding and flash flooding issues. So again, through Thursday morning, we're going to continue to pile up the rain. It looks like the Southern Valley probably going to get a little bit less than the rest of East Tennessee. So Chattanooga, unfortunately, if you're joining us from there, probably not going to get the abundance of rainfall that everyone else is going to get. But we do have those elevated rain chances throughout the day today. We'll kind of fade those rain chances tomorrow. I think Thursday is going to be trending on the dry side, maybe just a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But Thursday is likely to be the hottest day on the 7-day forecast. We'll go Thursday, Friday. But really, starting tomorrow, lasting all the way through the weekend and the start of next week, we're talking highs in the low to mid-90s. Remember, we've got abundant moisture in the atmosphere. Dew points are going to stay in the low to mid-70s. And so that's going to lead to excessive heat, right back to where we were from the beginning of the month, where we're talking heat advisories close to heat advisory criteria, which is what that line represents, which is 105 degrees or hotter. So if we get there, the National Weather Service will issue a heat advisory for parts of the valley locations. Likely not the case going to be for the mountains and the plateau. And I haven't talked about this map for a while. Again, we've got outdoor events going on. We've got practices for all the high schoolers and middle schoolers and all the kids anyways. If you work outside, something to keep in mind, starting tomorrow, not today, starting tomorrow, the heat stress really starts to pick up. And we're going to be in the moderate to high category. But as I mentioned, Thursday is likely to be the hottest day. So look at the heat stress really start to increase across the area, where we'll see low, moderate, and high, as well as extreme the heat stress. And so the central southern valley likely to have some pockets of extreme heat stress. And so that combines the sunshine, the humidity, the daytime air, heat index values. But again, it takes into account basically the sunshine that we're going to see. And then we're even on Friday, we're still going to have moderate and high heat stress. And so that's that excessive heat that's going to be with us. And if you're not a big fan of this excessive heat, but you're tired of the rain, the good news is, well, let's take that back. If you're not a big fan of the excessive heat, unfortunately, well, we still have August to go, right? Some of you are like, come on, fall. Come on, baby. Well, it looks like for the first week of August, we're going to be trending above average, but may start to trend below average when it comes to rainfall or precipitation, which would be rainfall. Obviously, we're not getting snow. So something to kind of keep in mind, something to look forward to, because I know a lot of us are maybe tired of the rain. It really puts a hamper on some of the outdoor projects, folks who work outside, construction workers, folks that keep our roadways working well every single day, all the delivery folks. Hey, listen, just something to keep in mind that we may be trending a little bit drier for the first week of August. But as we get into the second week of August, the excessive heat may continue to be with us, and average precipitation. So maybe just your general pop-up showers and thunderstorms with the heat of the day. Once again, if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app downloaded today, just go to the App Store and search East TN Weather, all one word. This is really going to be your one-stop shop. Easy, simple, clean way to get weather information right here in East Tennessee. So let's go back to the radar here and check in on that, see what the National Weather Service is saying here with that storm system that's moving its way into Claiborne and also Hancock County, Clearfield, Harrogate, Tazewell, Gibson Hall, Bray, Sneedville, Van over into southeastern Kentucky. Next in line would be places like Big Springs, Fisher Creek, Lee Valley, Rogersville, Cuba, Bean Station, Rutledge, Sharps Chapel, La Follette. Jellicoe's already in the thick of it right now. And places like Habersham, La Follette, Sharps Chapel, Norris Lake, and Big Barron. So something to keep in mind. We do have the showers and thunderstorms with a severe thunderstorm warning right now that runs until 7:45 this morning for Claiborne and also Hancock County. Nothing in front of that yet, so the National Weather Service is watching that. This is all radar indicated. They're saying 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater. Let's see. We're talking other places like Jonesville, New Tazewell, Pennington Gap, Harrogate, St. Charles, Howard Corder, Cumberland Gap, and Evanston. So damaging winds is going to be the main threat. Lots of lightning showing up with this system as well. When you look at your lightning strikes, we've got 59 lightning strikes right now within this view of the map. So I'll go to the chat. I'll keep that up on the screen here. Let's see what everyone's saying here this morning. Sure hope you're having a great morning so far. Again, we are going to continue to track these clusters of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. Here we go. Right? How's your morning going, by the way? You doing okay? I woke up at like 2:30 last night going, okay, let's check in on the storms. Let's see where we are. Let's see if it's actually on time, if it's going to be pushed back to 7 o'clock in the morning. There was nothing going on, so I went back to bed, woke up at 3:30 or 4. And I was like, okay, let's go out and let's get this day started, I say, my friends. Good morning, Layla. Hopefully you're healing well. Hopefully recovery is going well for you this morning. If anybody has any questions about the storms or anything, if I didn't answer everything that you need to know, let me know. I'll try to answer those questions as best as I can. Good morning, bud. How are you this morning? Got Katrina and Kimberly on here this morning, along with Julie and Krista. We've got Aaron joining us. Good morning, Aaron. How are you doing this morning? Brent, how are you, bud? Saw you walking. I was going to yell at you yesterday. Saw you walking in front of the house yesterday, but you have your earbuds on, so. But good to see you out walking again, my friend. I need to do the same thing. Julie says, here it comes. So heads up Hamlin County, Hawkins County, I would say even up towards Greene County, I'd say heads up, because these will continue to blast their way to the south and southeast. So it's not coming to Eaton Crossroads, right? Not right. Not necessarily maybe this first round, but yeah, I'm through the day, Barbara, through the day, we're likely to get some pretty good showers and thunderstorms. Can't guarantee that for Eaton Crossroads, but we're going to be monitoring. And of course, you can monitor with the East Tennessee Weather app as well. Let's see. Fixing to leave work. Hold off the rain for about 25 minutes, please. If you leave work right now, you should be just fine, Katrina. Although I don't know exactly where you live. I kind of know a little bit where you live, but not exactly. It's Taco Tuesday. That's right, Buck. How are you this morning? Congratulations, Kimberly. You got a job at FedEx. Big shout out to Kimberly this morning. Paul, what's up, buddy? First round already missing Knoxville, Carnes area? Nah, not necessarily. For now, but it's just off to our north and west, so we have to watch it. We'll see how this progresses over time. Does it back build to our south and southeast? Like, do we start to get these storms up towards Campbell County and the western sections of Claiborne County? Do they back build this way and start to head south and southeast? Possible. But all these are going to be moving their way to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour or so. So something to keep in mind. So far, so good, though, in the Carnes community. We'll see how it all plays out. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the way it's going to stay all day. And if you've gotten caught underneath some of these storms, you know how it's tough to travel through, not just due to the severe weather aspect of them, because we haven't had a lot of severe weather per se, but just due to the water-loaded atmosphere that we have taken shape. We've got so much moisture in the atmosphere. Remember, I talked about precipitable water every once in a while, the amount of moisture that we could precipitate out of the atmosphere if we could precipitate it all. And so what it does, it gives us a good indication of how water-loaded the atmosphere is. And our precipitable waters, I was checking this morning, they're going to be like in the 2-inch range. Let's see what they are right now. And so that's through the day today. We're talking about precipitable waters or available moisture to precipitate out of the atmosphere. Let's see, our precipitable waters here this morning, 1.93 inches. It ramps up at 18Z this afternoon. So we're looking at 11 noon, no 15. So that would be like 2 o'clock this afternoon. Our precipitable water ramps up to 2.37 inches. So you can see how that's going to increase. And so really we're going to be hovering right around that range for most of the day. And I think that's going to be the story again throughout the day tomorrow. So we're going to have, generally speaking, have precipitable water running that long. All right, here's the National Weather Service issuing another severe thunderstorm warning. So I don't know if you can probably hear my weather radio going on in the background. So the National Weather Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning for Claiborne, Granger, Greene, Hamblin, Hancock, Sullivan, Union, and Washington counties. They say at 7:19, a severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from 10 miles southeast of Pennington Gap to 8 miles east of Sneedville to 8 miles northwest of Bean Station to Wilkerson, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. It is radar indicated. We're talking about winds greater than 60 miles per hour, roof damage, siding, and trees. Watch out for that because we've had a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. That is going to lead to the potential, anyways, for some downed trees. So we have to watch out for that. Johnson City, Kingsport, Morristown, Bristol, Greenville, Rogersville, Sneedville, Rutledge, New Tazewell, and Bean Station, all in the path of this. We're talking about Interstate 26 and also Interstate 81. That's going to be associated with this new severe thunderstorm warning. Hail, again, is not going to be a major player. Let's just check in on some hail. We'll switch to a different radar product. Let's go to the National Weather Service out of Morristown. Now that the storm system is moving its way out of Kentucky, the radar in Morristown is going to take that. But again, now maybe a little bit of hail showing up. You got some hail now starting to show up a little bit across the area over towards Sneedville. And but I don't think hail is going to be the major player. It's really going to be the efficient rain producers. When you look at your rainfall rates out of the system itself, again, right around Sneedville, we've got rainfall rates of 6-7 inches per hour. And so that's really going to be producing those gully washers here this morning. All right, so new severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued by the National Weather Service. So you can see how that's extending all the way into Greene County, towards Bristol, Greenville, Morristown, Rutledge. So nothing showing up in Knox, and it's skimming just parts of northern Union County, Maynardville, not in the path of that. So there is the path of the storms here this morning. Let's see. Pat's not looking forward to today's storms, but thankful for the rain and cooler temperature. Well, not totally cooler, but seasonable. Let's call it that. Okay, so there we go. Eli, good morning. How are you this morning, bud? So Eli got almost 2.5 inches of rainfall yesterday, and he's looking for more, obviously, a lot more coming in. So he's in the Churchill community right there in the top center, top right of your side of your screen. That's where Eli's joining us this morning. And so we've got a copious amounts of water heading your way, Eli. So let's stay on top of it. Keep me posted and let me know if you want to join in on the conversation this morning. Let's see what else we got. Good morning, Pam. How are you? Good morning, Janet. Got Kimberly. Eli says, already seen lightning out here. Looks like it's hitting Sneedville right now. Yep, Sneedville's in the middle of it at this hour. Good morning, Brenda. How are you this morning? Filmer of Life, good morning. How are you? Let's see. Any questions on here? So, Mia. Good morning, Mia. Thanks for joining us this morning. Rain, winds from north, foggy, Lynch, Kentucky. Love the app. Thanks, Mia. I appreciate that. Well, it's going to be a little stormy tomorrow, Kimberly. If you can hold off till Thursday, might be doing a little bit better on Thursday. Although it's going to be much hotter. Good morning, Jerry. How are you this morning? Looking good? Good morning. I know I'm late. Going to go try and play some golf today. Watch out for those storms when thunder roars, Lee. What do you do? You go indoors, right? Got Tammy Heck on here this morning. How are you, Tammy? Christy, good morning. Headed to the Highway 127 longest yard sale this weekend. Oh, the longest yard sale is going on this weekend. Nice. That's awesome. Right along Highway 127, which runs from Fentress down into Cumberland County and even all the way down close to Chattanooga. Clouds are rolling in Maynardville. No rain yet. No rain in Maynardville quite at this time. I'll expand the view so folks can get a better idea of who's in the path of the storm and who's got the watches and warnings. Yeah, I can put Churchill on the track for you there, bud. So Eli's asking if I can put Churchill on the track. So let's just go to the leading edge. Just give you a little leeway. We'll just go like this. So Churchill, I don't know. Let's see here. Where's Churchill? There we go. So I would say you're probably looking at, I mean, by the biggest storms, 17 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes or so, Eli. So 15 to 20 minutes, you should start seeing some pretty good showers and thunderstorms moving on in. Thanks, Linda. Appreciate that. Don't mind the rain, but the thunder scares the dogs. Yeah, good job, Layla. Healings is going well. Back to PT this morning. Glad you're doing PT right away. That's great. See, my daughter is heading to Tazewell, Claiborne County for school. Should she wait? Good question this morning. So let's get that off. So, yeah, well, I mean, you got to go to school, right? So I'm not quite sure where she's going to be driving from. But, I mean, if she's within pretty close driving distance to Tazewell, I'd say she'd probably be good right now. She's going to get some rain. But we got some pretty good healthy storms just to the northwest of you in Powell Valley, Combs, Arthur, Harrogate, Clarefield. So these will all be diving their way to the south and southeast. It does put places like Tazewell in the path of that storm system, probably 726 right now. So probably about 15, 20 minutes or so. So depending on how far she's driving, Angela. Yes, mine did too, Tammy. I mean, isn't it crazy how fast the grass like greened up from all the rain that we've seen? I think it's been crazy. Yeah, no doubt about that, Buck. Buckets. Get it, Buck? Bucket. Sorry. One of the storms going to hit Monroe County later today. So Monroe County to Chattanooga has less of a chance of seeing these showers and thunderstorms, but I do think that they'll build up throughout the day today. We'll go back to the future cast. I'll give you an idea of how these storms are going to be playing out. Remember to download the East Tennessee Weather app. If you don't have it, it will help you track the storms through the day. So let's go ahead and pick up our future cast here. Of course, you can see it's a little delayed on the timing of those storms in upper East Tennessee. But here's noon today. So right around 10 to noon, the storms will be sliding to the southeast. So Monroe County, probably getting closer to about, I'd say anytime after noon today. How about that? How about after that, Janet? Afternoon today, you have probably your best chance of seeing, answering Janet's question this morning. Afternoon, probably the best chance of seeing showers and thunderstorms that will pick up into the area. Looks like Eli's getting ready to join in on the broadcast. So we'll bring Eli. We'll bring you to the conversation here in just a second, if I can. It's been a while since we've done that, Eli. All right, let's see. Oh, okay, good. Glad I answered your question. Well, I personally answered it as well. Good morning from Glendale, Greenback area. So grateful that I was able to pick up my husband from Fort Sanders at 6 a.m. from his sleep study. Oh, nice. And get back home before it all started. Yeah, always a good thing to be able to do that. Got RD joining us this morning. Go, Katrina, beat the rain. I'm going to say Jacqueline. Is it Jacqueline or Jocelyn? Sorry if I got that wrong. But good morning. How are you this morning? We got Katrina. Let's see. Ben, how's Saturday shape up? Supposed to hit the lake on Saturday. Saturday, we're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms. I think Sunday's going to be a better lake day, but they'll probably... Listen, I mean, I think Saturday will be decent. We'll just have to watch out for the showers and thunderstorms. But Ben, it's only Tuesday, so check back in probably on Thursday. We'll have a better idea of how Saturday's going to be playing out. Granulous One, what's up, buddy? How are you? Still lots of dead spots in my yard here in Jonesboro. We'll take all the rain I can get. I'm a barefoot person when working in the yard, and dead grass equals pain. Yes, it does, doesn't it? It does indeed. What's up, Chris? How are you? Chris, going for my morning run. Are you are you running? Nice. Around 9 here in Knoxville. You think it will be okay? So far, so good. It's what 7:30. You'll probably be fine. Check in with the East Tennessee Weather app, though. Remember, that gives you the 2-hour future cast. Let me just go ahead and show you that here just real quick. For those of you that are new, I know I see that there are lots of new folks here on the platform. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, let me help you out here for just 1 second and help you navigate the East Tennessee Weather app. So if you open the app up, this is what you're going to see, right? So what you want to do is go down to the radar, click on the radar. There's a couple things you'll want to do. You can see how we do have the flood watch in effect. You'll want to go up to the cog wheel on the top right-hand side of the screen and make sure you have the national radar clicked on. Then select overlays and make sure that you have lightning data to turn on. I'll turn off all the alerts so we don't get all that to cluster everything out. But if you push play, let's see if it works. If you push play, it goes past 2 hours, pauses at the current hour, and then goes into a future cast of 2 hours. So that's where the East Tennessee Weather app. Also, if you put on storm tracks with overlays, you can see how the storm tracks are. Let's see if I can get this zoomed in. You click on the button of the storm track. It'll give you cities in the path. You can click on the information of that. It says, hey, Thornhill, 5 minutes, Fairview, 10 minutes, Bean Station, 11 minutes, and Tate Springs in about 12 minutes. Gives you the location and speed of the storm as well. So it's tracking to the southeast at about 34 miles per hour. And that window is 60 minutes. And so that's a great tool to have and check out the storms. But again, let's see if I can get this to zoom out a little bit more. So you can see how the storms are to our north and east. Get that off. If you push play once again, you can see how it's kind of swinging around a trough that's across the northeast. And so it's tracking to the southeast. So Morristown, Rutledge, Jefferson City, Newport may not get in on this first one. We'll see how it all plays out, but something to kind of keep in mind. Something to keep in mind if you are going to be using the East Tennessee Weather app. So great tool there. All right, let's go back to the maps full here and see if I can't answer any other questions. So I just checking on that, Chris. Check the 2-hour future cast there. That'll probably help you out. So as we get into, say, 8 o'clock, 8:30, check it out. And I think you'll probably be fine. Depending on how long you're running for, too. Kind of depends on everything. Let's see if we can't bring Eli to the conversation. It's been a while since we've done this, Eli. So let's see if this works. And again, can't promise anything, but we'll try our best. How about that? We'll try our best to see if we can't bring it to the conversation to see what Eli is saying. So Eli, give me 1 second here, bud. All right. Can't promise anything, but Eli, you are going to be live here in...
Mike, I've lost your audio, so I don't know if you can hear me or not. But I hope I'm not talking over you too much. But it's progressively gotten darker in about the past 5 minutes, as you can see towards the northwest. I almost said the northeast. This is the northwest. The weather radio went off and it about gave me a little scare, which is what it's supposed to do. But I've been tracking with the East Tennessee Weather app, and let me tell you, that future radar has really come in handy the past couple days as well, with the really tropical downpours that we've had. And really, take a look at that. I'm sorry. But it is really getting dark towards Sneedville and Jonesville. This is one that I think is going to be kind of nasty. I head for work here in about, say 15 minutes. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty nasty run in, I think. So, I might have to wait it out. But it's really getting dark back towards the northwest, really, really dark. I mean, I've already gotten 2.5 inches of rain in just the past 24 hours.
Yeah, and that wind's going to be picking up
So,
here
but yeah, it
this
is.
morning as
I
well.
think we might actually have a little bit of a shelf cloud trying to develop. I
Yeah, you
can't really
might.
tell though.
And that's going to be the leading edge of some of those stronger wind gusts. So those will be moving in here in just a
Yeah,
second. Eli, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it, bud.
no problem. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. So, by the way, that's one of Witcher's weather watchers, Eli Bray from Churchill in Upper East Tennessee. And if you would like to become part of a Witcher weather watcher, just message me, Mike at easttnweather.com. Let me know that you want to be a Witcher weather watcher. I'll send you the online class from the National Weather Service, which you can take virtually, by the way. And that will allow you to, if you send me your certificate, then we'll let you become part of this exclusive group of folks who are Witcher weather watchers for us here in East Tennessee. So glad that worked out. Not quite sure if we had an echo on that. So let me know if you had an echo on that. I know you lost me for a second. But good morning, Chunky Nothing. Morning. How are you this morning? Got Annette joining us also. So these showers and thunderstorms will move on through. We'll talk much more about that here in a second. But, Kimberly's itching at the bit here. You know what time that is. Come on, dance, Kimberly. Not clean dancing, Kimberly. Clean. All right, here are your national holidays for the day today. We've got National Climb a Mountain Day. Well, maybe not today. Since we've got the thunderstorms that are going to be rolling on into the area, probably not a good idea to be climbing mountains during the stormy weather. But it is National Climb a Mountain Day. It's always good to get out and get some exercise. It's National Whistleblower Day. All right, well, there was that. National Father-in-Law Day. If you're married and you got a father-in-law, give your father-in-law a big shout out and say, hey, happy National Father-in-Law Day. I get along with my father-in-law really, really well. Great guy. And glad to be part of their family. So big shout out to John Ashman this morning, my father-in-law. All right, National Cheesecake Day. Yes, please. One of my favorite desserts in the world is cheesecake. Yum. Anybody else like cheesecake? Do you like the different variations of cheesecake? Or do we just like traditional standard cheesecake? Which one is it? Let me know in the chat. Sweet. I didn't have an echo. That's amazing. Good to know. Good to know. Here in Thunder and Talbot, dark, but the sky is not dark, I think, across the lake of Granger County. See you, Tom. Have a good day, buddy. Sorry I've not responded to your text message. My kids had my phone that day, and I was slewing through my messages going, what have I missed since they had my phone? So I'll try to give you a shout later on today. Katrina likes cheesecake. Eva likes cheesecake. All the cheesecake, says Krista. All the cheesecakes, huh? You can't go wrong with all the cheesecakes, that's for sure. Plain cheesecake for Brian. Chocolate cheesecake. Yeah, I suppose diabetes isn't like that either, right? Loaded with sugar. Well, I'll blow the whistle on myself. The mountain I'm climbing is my pillow. But you're tuning in this morning, so I appreciate that. Chunky Nothing. Time to go to Aubrey's for cheesecake. Say what? What you talk about, Willis? Do they have good cheesecake there? I was thinking more of the standard, Cheesecake Factory, Brent. That's all I'm saying. Ooh, there we go, Jerry. Salted caramel cheesecake. Butterfingers cheesecake, Donna says. Oh, homemade? Donna, where's the love? Where is the love? That sounds amazing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cheesecake Factory. Actually, homemade's probably even the best, right? But Butterfingers cheesecake sounds to die for. See if T-Dot's gotten their cameras back up and running and working okay. See if we have any issues along Interstate 81. It doesn't appear that we have any major issues here this morning. Let's take a look at a couple cameras for the folks that are going to be traveling out and about this morning. See if they got it up. They got it up and working this morning. Yay, T-Dog. Good job, guys. It was down for a few days. That's a live look there at 40 and Alcoa Highway. We'll come right along where we always get your typical slowdowns. That's 40 and 5th Avenue, downtown Knoxville's top left-hand side of your screen. And we'll come all the way down to, say, let's come down to Campbell Station Road. Campbell Station Road is running smoothly this morning as well, along with 40 and Pellissippi Parkway. Installed semi-truck on the side of the road, but traffic is light. Of course, traffic's really going to start to build as we get into, the middle latter part of next week. Can you believe the kids are going back to school? Do you know they have lemon cheesecake? Well, lemon is one of my favorite things in the world, so I'll have to try that one for sure. I don't like cheesecake, cream cheese. Time for golf. Lee, go get your game in, bud. Watch out for those storms later on today. Have a good golf game. Good luck on that, on the course this morning. Good luck on the course this morning. Well, I'm glad you're all joining us this morning. Again, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's talk about that again here this morning. We got two that are taking shape, but really it's one that's on the leading edge of that. So as we zoom in a little bit, places like Speedwell, heads up, storms are moving into your area. Sharps Chapel, Norris Lake, Maynardville, you may be next in line, depending on how this back edge in the top left-hand side of your screen kind of scoots off to the south and southeast. Claiborne County's in the thick of it this morning. Bean Station's in the thick of it. Same with Rogersville, Burgoynesville, and along right into Churchill. So I think it was probably pretty close on that 10-minute time frame there, Eli. But storms moving into Churchill this morning. Looks like not nearly as strong there. Bean Station's for sure. So I'd say Rutledge, Morristown, Bowles Gap, Mohawk, Mossheim, Baileyton, Geraldstown, Greenville, Afton, Colonial Heights, Kingsport, and Spurgeon, all next in line. And then after that would be Johnson City, Telford, Elizabethton, I should say, Unicoi, and Irwin before it moves its way into the mountains of North Carolina. But that's all we have so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at the big picture and see what's going on upstream. Not much going on upstream, but disturbances are in the atmosphere. So as we heat up the atmosphere, we'll have to watch out for those upstream storms. There are some storms just moving their way into, say, the London-Corbin area. And so we'll have to watch and see how those progress over time as they move their way to the south and southeast. And we'll look at your future cast. Let's go back to the radar here around East Tennessee. Actually, we'll look at, there we go. Let's look at the future scan. This is going to give you a 2-hour future cast. So picking up on our future, on our storms out there this morning, let's take a look at a 2-hour future cast. As we run that through time, you can see how these are progressing to the southeast. So Halls, downtown Knoxville, Newport, Maryville, probably going to stay out of the thick of this one. But another round of rain moving over a location that's already been embedded with some heavier rain will continue to slide off to the southeast, coming out of London and Corbin, moving back over Williamsburg, Pineville, southeastern Kentucky, and then probably over into Claiborne and Hancock County again. But you can really see how, let me stop this. So see how this future cast, we'll look at reflectivity, see how the future cast is picking up pretty close to where those storms are. So let's say the storms are they're right about there. So there's 8:06. It's now 7:43. So we'll say we'll say Mohawk, probably about 9 o'clock here this morning. Johnson City, probably about 9:15 to 9:30. Telford and Unicoi, probably about 9:45 to 10 o'clock this morning. But Whitesburg, Bean Station, and all the places have already been raked under with a lot of rain. We'll continue to see more. How's it looking for Rockford this morning, says Madison. Good morning, by the way. How are you doing this morning? So she's talking about Rockford. So far, so good. Rockford's not going to see a ton here soon, but you said Rockwood. I'm sorry, I said Rockford. Rockwood will be fine so far. Probably have to watch out for a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms, so we'll see how that plays out. But first thing, so far this morning, Rockwood and Roane County are doing great. Amen to that. No hook echoes today. Not really the kind of storm that would produce hook echoes, But on the leading edge of these are the kind of storms that can produce a little bit of a spin up. Not too likely that would see that, and I wouldn't be that concerned about any sort of spin ups. When we look at the shear over the last hour, we just don't really have a ton of shear in the atmosphere. That's winds changing speed and direction with height. So when you look at the velocity products, no spin in the atmosphere there, but we may have seen a little bit of hail showing up near Tazewell, Sneedville area, up towards Harrogate, maybe just a little bit outside of Rogersville. So the possibility of some hail, but not necessarily damaging hail, is going to be with us. But when you look at also the rainfall rates, it looks like rainfall rates have started to die down a little bit, but rainfall rates on the leading edge of this, we'll pick some, highlight some of the highest places, 4.2, over towards Bean Station, 5.2, right around Burgoynesville, 0.78. So again, up towards Tazewell, we've got 6.8, and just north of Speedwell, we've got a 7.1, and so that's a significant rainfall. And so rain is heavy up towards Speedwell, and that's going to be producing localized flooding and flash flooding. So watch out for those the rising water here this morning. Watch out as these storms continue to track to the southeast. Any other questions this morning? You're the best, Kimberly. Just absolutely the best. Multitasking is the only way to go. Hopefully I've answered all your questions this morning. I know a lot of folks got to hit the road and get about their day. Got quite a few folks joining us on the YouTube page, by the way. And so if you're not on YouTube, go smash that subscribe and turn on notifications for YouTube. You'll always get any push notifications when I'm doing live severe weather coverage, when I do upload on YouTube. But once again, let's talk about the risk levels through the day today. We won't even send you back to the 24-hour channel. I'll just go back through the forecast again. Let's highlight everything that in case you missed any of the forecast. Again, we've got that northwest flow pattern around a ridge of high pressure, and that's what's going to create these disturbances or allow these disturbances to flow in that northwesterly flow pattern and move right over East Tennessee in the southeastern U.S., or rather the Appalachian region, which will continue to bring us rounds and showers and thunderstorms. The Weather Prediction Center has put us under a level 1 and level 2 risk around our region. Here in East Tennessee, we are under a level 2 risk for localized flooding and flash flooding concerns. And so the National Weather Service has issued a flood watch that runs until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, does encompass pretty much all of East Tennessee. We also have a level 2 risk. That's an upgrade from the Storm Prediction Center from what we were talking about yesterday. Level 2 risk for isolated strong to severe storms. So the greatest risk is going to be extreme rain with very efficient rain producers and a saturated ground that would lead to localized flooding, flash flooding issues. We also have damaging winds possible. 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater are all possible with these storms. Hail's not likely, but the tornado threat, possible, but not likely. It's not that really that much of a setup for tornadoes at all. These are upper level waves in the atmosphere that typically produce damaging winds and locally heavy rainfall. And we've seen this. The showers and storms over the last 5 to 7 days have been very efficient rain producers. We saw that with with the flooding that occurred at Dollywood and along Veterans Parkway and parts of the eastern sections of Sevier County, causing a mess over there in Dollywood. But they've been very efficient at cleaning it all up to get guests and to return to the park. But that's the story with these very efficient rain producers. As we head into the afternoon, more clusters of showers and thunderstorms are possible. Off and on showers, solid tropical-like downpours with a water-loaded atmosphere, and that's going to be with us for a good chunk of the day. Again, not an all-day rain event, and when you look at percentages on the forecast, don't take that to heart like it's going to be an all-day rain event. It just means a good, solid chance that you'll actually receive some precipitation throughout the day, or rather measurable rain. But, of course, any of the rain that we see today is going to be extremely measurable. So empty your rain gauges, download the East Tennessee Weather app, check in on the interactive radar, make sure you have notifications turned on and GPS turned on, especially if you travel for work, because if you don't have GPS turned on, then you're not going to get any of those notifications. Temperatures today. Lunchtime temps should be right around 80. Still going to be an average day. Highs will be in the mid to upper 80s to pockets of low 90s. It's going to be hotter in the Southern Valley, less coverage of rainfall there. And when we have more clouds and more rainfall, it typically keeps our temperatures at bay just a little bit more. But dew points are climbing into the mid to upper 70s. And so extreme humidity is going to lead to heat index values pushing the upper 90s to low 100s. As we get into the evening commute, 85, but feeling like 95. Probably going to start to see those showers and thunderstorms fade as we get into the 6, 8, and 10 o'clock hour. I don't think we'll have much activity overnight tonight, but could start tomorrow morning off with some scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then through the day tomorrow, again, more rounds of showers and thunderstorms on the way that could lead to the potential for some flooding and flash flooding. So we're under a level 1 risk by the Weather Prediction Center for a flood risk for tomorrow. And the Storm Prediction Center has also put us under a level 1 risk for isolated strong or severe storms that would produce damaging winds and locally heavy rainfall. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning only indicates hail or wind. It has nothing to do with rain or anything like that. Do we have much spin in the atmosphere tomorrow? Not as much as we have today. So we'll have to watch out for that spin ups throughout the day today. But I just I'm not confident on that. I don't think we'll see a whole lot. So tomorrow morning or through the overnight hours, we might see another round of some showers and thunderstorms. So we could start tomorrow morning similar for upper East Tennessee. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll see those showers and thunderstorms kind of build back up through the day. Again, the Southern Valley looks like it's going to get less rain over the next couple of days. When you look at your rainfall forecast through Thursday morning, again, don't look at Rockwood and say, oh, I'm only going to get 0.07 of an inch of rain. That's not necessarily the case. This is a model guidance, just giving us an idea of where the heaviest rain could potentially fall, where we may not get much rainfall. And you can see Chattanooga, Whitwell, Saudi Daisy, Cleveland probably are not going to get a ton of activity over the next 24, 36, 48 hours. Rainfall fades as we get into our Thursday. Starts to elevate a little bit Friday and Saturday. I think just more afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms. That should be about the extent of it. We're not talking about like major disturbances so far, but high pressure builds in. So high pressure, remember I showed you that map, that high pressure is over Texas. That's why we're getting the disturbances wrapping around the edges of that high pressure ridge. Since you get clockwise rotation, we're on the eastern side, so that brings us a northwesterly flow. That shuts down as we get into Thursday. The heat builds. Thursday is likely to be the hottest day over the next 7 days. High temperatures will be in the mid-90s. But extreme humidity, dew points are going to stay in the low to mid-70s over the next 5 to 7 days. So we're not getting rid of the humidity. Welcome to the Southeast. If you're new, I met a few folks from California the other day and said, how's the humidity treating you? They're like, yeah, it's not bad, but it's definitely not dry air. I was like, right. It's not bad. You instantly sweat when you go outside. You have to take at least 2 showers a day, right? But the heat index values are going to be pushing close to heat advisory criteria, especially on Thursday. So we'll see what the National Weather Service does. But as high pressure builds in, we'll start to see more sunshine. We'll shut down the rain chances, and therefore you combine all of this heat with direct sunlight, and you get heat stress. So the heat stress will start to build a little bit on Wednesday, but even more so as we get into Thursday. As mentioned, Thursday is likely to be the hottest and most humid day with near heat advisory criteria. Then we'll start to fade that heat stress a little bit on Friday, although I think it's going to build back up as we get into the upcoming weekend. Temperature outlook all the way through the first 2 weeks of August looks to be above average, possibly average to maybe even slightly below average when it comes to rainfall. So it'd be nice to dry out a little bit. I don't know about you. It's been hard to get out and do certain things because of the rain chances, the thunderstorms, and the torrential downpours. But again, looking above average, and when it comes to temperatures, maybe below average when it comes to precipitation over the next maybe 2-3 weeks or so. I mean, this is the other side of the story, right? Hardin Valley just the other day saw some localized flooding. We saw some strong storms. You can see how the cloud decks are really lower because the atmosphere is really water loaded. And that's just producing torrential downpours, which is what we saw near Pigeon Forge with that wall of rain that produced the flooding that occurred in Dollywood. So that's the story here at this hour. Let's see what else we got going on. When you look at your rainfall, just a general idea of rainfall over the next 7 days, we're still looking at half an inch to over an inch of rain, just kind of broad brushing that. But when you look at your percent of daily normals, so here's what we've seen over the last 7 days. You can see just over a 7-day stretch, past 7-day rainfall, where we've seen some of the heaviest rain. So 2-3 inches of rainfall, generally speaking, pockets of 4, 5, and 6 inches, which is drastically going to help the drought. So I do think that we'll see a big change in the drought as we get into our Thursday. Of course, that comes out on Thursday. And when you look at your 30-day percent of normal, we've really started to elevate those rains. So now we've got a surplus of rain over the last 30 days in places like in the green shaded areas. 69% of normal in Chattanooga. And when you look at our deficit, we've really gotten rid of a lot of that deficit over the last 30 days thanks to all this rain. Still have about 1.5 inches of deficit in Chattanooga over the last 30 days, so we desperately need the rainfall there. And when you look at your last over the past year, we're still about 24 inches behind on rainfall in Chattanooga when you look at a whole year. Not the case up towards Tri-Cities in Greenville, Newport, and Pigeon Forge and Maryville, where we've seen a lot more rain. And when you look at the 365-day percent of normal, 77% of normal in Chattanooga, but nearing 100%. So right around average for rainfall along Interstate 81, 40 up over the mountains, and up along Highway 26 in the Tri-Cities area. All right, my friends, nothing too crazy right now. Julie says it's pitch black here in Morristown at this hour. Tammy says, thank you. You're welcome. Good morning, Sierra. What is the time for the storms today and tonight? Hopefully I just answered that question for you as I'm just checking back in on the chat. Congratulations, Tammy. That's amazing. That's a big, big deal. Big deal. And I've just been asked to be a part of some cancer group. I did this over the years with Komen over the years, but I've been asked again to do some stuff. So more details on that in the coming days. Jennifer says, just started raining in Kingsport. And again, just always stay on top of the weather with the East Tennessee Weather app. It's clean, it's easy, it's efficient. It gives you all the notifications without over notifying you. And it's not loaded with a bunch of ad nonsense. It's all local advertisers that broadcast or sponsor or advertise with the East Tennessee Weather. You're very welcome, Chunky. Thanks for streaming. Have a great day, everyone. But your stepfather and cheesecake, and then tell on him after you climb the mountain. Perfect. Well said, my friend. Well said. All right, Samuel, you're late to the party, but we're wrapping things up this morning, my friend. We'll just take a couple quick views. Before we kind of wrap it up, I'll take a couple quick views over East Tennessee. So have a great day. Be safe. Be kind to each other. We'll see you back here for Wake Up with Witcher tomorrow morning, of course, on social media throughout the day. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, everything. This is important information, of course, because we are talking about a lot of rain. Localized flooding, flash flooding could be a concern through the next several days. So we'll leave you with a couple of views around East Tennessee as we wrap things up this morning. Have a great day, my friends. We'll see you back here soon.